Welcome to Kobe University. The orientation event for new international students has been cancelled this year to prevent the spread of coronavirus. It's a shame that we won't have a chance to gather together in person. However, as faculty and students of Kobe University, our warm welcome towards you remains the same. We will support you so that you can have an enjoyable and rewarding experience studying abroad at Kobe University. The majority of international students do not experience problems during their study abroad at Kobe University. However, every year there are unfortunately some students who end up in traffic accidents, get injured, or are involved in a crime. In this orientation video, we will explain what you should do and what you definitely shouldn't do in order to live safely in Japan and to prevent these kinds of incidents from happening. First, we will go over the crucial procedures that you need to complete upon arrival in Japan. Secondly, to help you live safely in Japan, we will give you essential information about the medical and insurance system, the law, and preparations in case of natural disasters. After that, we will impart necessary details related to studying and researching at Kobe University. This video may be long, but the information in it is very important, so please be sure to watch until the end. This orientation uses the Guidebook for International Students. This guidebook is available in 4 languages: Japanese, English, Chinese, and Korean. Please read the guidebook in the language that is easiest for you to understand. If you do not have the guidebook, you can download it from Kobe University's website. Before continuing, please be sure to download the guidebook. To begin, we will explain important matters related to your official ID in Japan, your residence card, and the residence procedure. You will receive your residence card when you arrive at the airport in Japan. This card serves as your official ID in Japan. Please be sure to carry it with you at all times. For example, please have your residence card on your person, even when going jogging or going to a nearby convenience store. If you are stopped by the police and do not have your residence card, this is illegal, and you may be taken to the police station. To prevent this kind of situation from happening, please ensure that you never forget your residence card and carry it at all times. On the back of the residence card, there is a space for your address. You must register your address at the ward or city office in the area where you are living within 14 days after arriving in Japan. The staff at the office will write your address on the back of your residence card and stamp it. For example, if you are living in the Kokui residence in Nada, please go to the Nada ward office. Those living in the international residence on Port Island should go to the Chuo ward office. And those living in the Fukaye dorm or Sumiyoshi International Student House should go to the Higashinada ward office. Your period of stay in Japan is written on the front of your residence card. Period of stay refers to the length of time that you can legally live in Japan. In other words, if you stay in Japan even 1 day after your period of stay ends, you are breaking the law. If you forget to extend your period of stay, this is classed as illegally overstaying. Please make sure that you do not continue to stay in Japan after your period of stay expires. In order to extend your stay abroad, you must apply to extend your period of stay at the immigration office. For example, If you initially came to Kobe University as a research student, but have passed the exam to enter graduate school and plan to stay in Japan for longer. In such cases, please apply to extend your period of stay before it expires. You can apply for an extension up to 3 months before your period of stay ends. Please read about the application process in detail on page 3 of your guidebook. If you plan to get a part-time job in Japan, you need to obtain the permission to engage in an activity other than that permitted by the status of residence previously granted. The back of your residence card will be stamped with a stamp saying permission in Japanese. If you want to work part-time but do not have this stamp, you must apply for it at the immigration office. This is explained in detail in point 5 on page 4 of your guidebook. As mentioned in your guidebook, it is forbidden to work in the gambling, for example, pachinko, or adult entertainment industries. Anyone found to be engaged in this sort of work will be arrested by the police. So please don't do this kind of job. Next, we will explain the crucial procedures that must be completed after arriving in Japan. Please turn to page 1 of your guidebook. The following procedures are mandatory and must be completed by all international students. Number 1. Submit a notification of moving in form. Number 2. Register for national health insurance. Number 3. Obtain Gakensai and Gakensai Futai Gakuso insurance. Please go to the ward office in the area where you live to submit your notification of moving in, or in other words, to register your address. You will need to take your passport and residence card. You will also need to register for national health insurance at the ward office. Those who will live in Japan for over 3 months must join the national health insurance. Please register your moving in and address before applying for national health insurance. We will explain the national health insurance system in more detail later in this video. Next, we will give a simple explanation of procedures that you may need to carry out during your time in Japan. Please look at page 2 of your guidebook. First, let's look at point 4. Registering for the National Pension Plan. If you are 20 years of age or older, you are required to join the National Pension Plan. You can apply at the ward office. There is a special exemption system for students. Under this system, you don't have to pay into a pension. When you join the National Pension Plan, please apply for the Special Pension Payment Exemption for students or the pension exemption. Those who obtained a MEXT or JASO scholarship need to open a post office, JP Bank account to receive it. Lastly, those who are scheduled to start a part-time job must obtain permission from the Kobe District Immigration Office before starting work. Now, we will explain about the insurance system. It is extremely important to obtain comprehensive insurance to enable you to enjoy a safe and worry-free life in Japan. However, some of you may come from countries that don't have such insurance systems. You may be wondering why this insurance is necessary. Also, the Japanese system may be very different from the insurance systems in your country. Therefore, we would like to introduce the Japanese insurance system, explaining why you need to join it and how to apply. Let's start with the national health insurance. If you are staying in Japan for more than 3 months, you must enroll in this insurance. Those who are registered only have to pay 30% of their medical costs. The remaining 70% is covered by the national health insurance. To find out more, please be sure to read page 1 of your guidebook. Let's move on to the explanation of the Gakensai and the Gakensai Futai Gakuso insurance plans. All Kobe University students are required to purchase Gakensai insurance. This insurance covers all accidents or injuries during university events or classes. It is mandatory for Kobe University students. Please obtain the application form and pink pamphlet about the insurance from the office at your faculty or graduate school. Gakensai Futai Gakuso is an add-on insurance for Gakensai. All international students at Kobe University must purchase this insurance too. Why should all Kobe University international students apply for Gakensai Futai Gakuso? Well, for the reasonable cost of approximately 10,000 yen per year, this insurance offers 4 big advantages. We recommend that you enroll in Type A or Type C, which includes rescuer's expenses. Please enroll in Gakensai Futai Gakuso, especially if you ride a bicycle. The information on this slide refers to actual bicycle accidents that happened in Kobe. There have been cases, such as the 4th one on this slide, where the person who caused the accident was a student of Kobe University. This student had to pay around 450,000 yen in hospital fees and compensation for loss of earnings to the victim, who suffered a bone fracture. As you can see, compensation rulings can be very high, so if you plan to ride a bicycle in Japan, please register for Gakensai Futai Gakuso insurance. You can obtain the application form and blue pamphlet detailing the insurance at the office of your faculty or graduate school. From this year onwards, you can also conveniently register online. Next, we will explain about scholarships, as well as tuition fee and enrollment fee exemptions. There are 3 main types of scholarship that self-financed international students can apply for. Previous application information can be found on page 23 to 28 of your guidebooks. Please read these pages if you are looking for a scholarship. There are other scholarships which you can apply for directly as an individual. Please search for these by yourself on the internet. Information regarding tuition and enrollment fee exemption can be found on page 5. For more details, please check the university website or department notice boards. Now, we will explain about housing. Information about university residences can be found on pages 18 to 20 of your guidebook. You can apply for university housing at the office of your faculty or graduate school in either July or January. In addition, information about privately owned dormitories can be found on page 20. These can also be applied for at your faculty or graduate school office. Please check the university website or the notice boards for up-to-date information, regardless of which of these 2 types of housing you wish to apply for. Alternatively, there is information on page 21 about how to rent privately owned apartments and things you should be aware of when renting such housing. For many privately owned apartments, you will need to find a guarantor. Kobe University does not offer a university-operated guarantor system, so you will need to use a private guarantor company specified by the real estate agents. In addition, please be sure to purchase the fire insurance, etc., as specified by the real estate agents to cover yourself in case of leaks or a fire in your apartment. If a fire insurance plan is not specified by the real estate agent, Kobe University recommends that you purchase either Gakensai Futai Gakuso Type E or Type G. The details of these insurance plans are explained in the previously mentioned blue pamphlet. Alternatively, please purchase the Kobe University Co-op's Mutual Aid Fire Insurance. 2 years ago, there was an incident where a Kobe University international student living in a private apartment had to pay around 3,400,000 yen in damages due to a washing machine leak. Please make sure that you purchase insurance so that you don't end up in this kind of situation. Next, let's talk about health and medical treatment. First of all, we'll introduce the medical facilities on campus. The Medical Center for Student Health offers free physical and mental health counseling, as well as emergency first aid. There are also doctors there who can speak English. You can find more details on page 12 and 13 of the guidebook. All Kobe University students are required to have an annual medical checkup every year. The days and times for the medical vary depending on your faculty or graduate school. Please check the date of the medicals for your faculty or graduate school and be sure to attend. Information about hospitals near the university can be found on page 14, including details about hospitals which have doctors who can speak English well. Please go to one of the hospitals listed in the guidebook if you need to see a doctor at night or on weekends, when the Medical Center for Student Health is closed. If you have a chronic illness or disability and need medical support, please talk to the International Student Advisors or your faculty or graduate school's staff member in charge of international students about this as soon as possible. Firstly, you will receive a consultation from a doctor at the Medical Center for Student Health. Then, if necessary, you will be referred to a specialist at Kobe University Hospital or a general hospital. These doctors will support you so that you can have a fulfilling experience as an international student in Japan. Furthermore, if you wish to apply for learning support, please follow the steps outlined on this slide. First of all, please discuss this with the Academic Affairs section of your faculty or graduate school and submit the application form for disability support. After the interview, an agreement on support for university life will be signed by your faculty or graduate school's dean. Your learning support will begin after this agreement has been concluded. This application process takes about 1 month to be completed. If you require this kind of support, please talk to your faculty or graduate schools. This application process takes about 1 month to be completed. If you require this kind of support, please talk to your faculty or graduate school's Academic Affairs section as soon as possible. We will now talk about culture shock and cultural adjustment, and useful things to know in order to spend a safe, relaxing, and enjoyable time studying abroad. There are many kinds of international student. Maybe you have visited Japan many times and know a lot about this country. Or maybe your language ability is good and you have many Japanese friends. On the other hand, this may be your first time visiting Japan and you might not know any Japanese. Regardless of your previous experiences relating to Japan, you are all about to start studying abroad at Kobe University, and you are probably feeling excited. Many people experience this honeymoon period, where everything is exciting and wonderful when entering a new environment. However, once lessons start and you become busy with homework and assignments, you may gradually begin to feel physically and mentally tired. Also, for those coming to Japan for the first time, you may find it difficult to cope with the fast pace of daily life. Beginning with June's rainy season, the weather in Kobe starts to become hot and humid. For those coming from cooler climates, such as parts of Europe, North America, and Northeast Asia, this may be your first experience of Japan's hot and humid weather. Some people find daily life in Japan very hard in June, when it is hot, humid, and raining every day. This climate change, coupled with a small trigger, might make you feel extremely homesick. Also, there may be some people who experience strong culture shock due to being stressed or frustrated because of difficulties in adjusting to the learning or research styles at Kobe University, or because you feel like your Japanese is not improving. Most people's feelings change over time, as indicated in the diagram. Please be reassured that the majority of students gradually adjust to life in Japan and studying or researching at Kobe University. However, there are some people who experience intense culture shock, which causes mental health issues, such as depression. In this case, please see a doctor or specialist for support. What is culture shock, and how might it affect me? Culture shock is a deep sense of unease or confusion that occurs when you are in a new environment or a place that you don't know. To explain in more detail, you might experience great anxiety or a sense of loss. You may also feel like you are being rejected by the new culture, or feel like rejecting the new culture yourself. Some people also experience confusion or anxiety about their identity, anger, or powerlessness. Physical symptoms might include not being able to sleep at night, or waking up in the middle of the night or early morning. You might lose your appetite, always feel irritated, cry easily, or feel tired easily. If symptoms like these continue for 2 to 3 weeks with no improvement, you may need to see a doctor or a specialist. First of all, please feel free to talk to an international student advisor or a doctor at the Medical Center for Student Health. The next part of the orientation will go over important precautions that you can take regarding crime, accidents, and other incidences. First, we will introduce 2 phone numbers that are important to know before you start living in Japan. The first is 110, which is the emergency number for the police. If you are in an accident or the victim of a crime, do not hesitate to call 110. The next number is 119. If a fire occurs, please call 119. If you need an ambulance due to an emergency illness or injury, please call 119. These 2 numbers are very important, so please remember them. Next, please be aware of the following information about drugs. In Japan, marijuana is illegal, in addition to hard drugs such as cocaine, heroin, and stimulants. If you possess or use marijuana, you could be arrested, expelled from the university, and deported from Japan. In the past, there was an actual case where an international student studying at a university in Tokyo was arrested for possession of marijuana. They were subsequently expelled by the university and then deported from Japan. If you use drugs in Japan, you run the risk of ruining your life, so please don't do this. Next, let's talk about transportation rules. You often see Kobe University students commuting to school on a scooter, like the one in this picture. This kind of bike is very useful because Kobe University is located near the mountains. However, you must obtain a license to drive a scooter or motorbike. In order to drive a car in Japan, you need a valid license, such as an international driving license or a Japanese driving license. Your home country's driving license is not sufficient. Also, please be sure to keep on the left side of the road when driving a car or bike. Now, we will explain some important points about bicycles. Firstly, if you get a bicycle, you must complete the mandatory bicycle theft prevention registration. You can complete this registration at the shop if you are buying a new bicycle. This registration information is stored on the computers of the Hyogo Police. In other words, this allows you to prove that the bicycle belongs to you. Registering for bicycle theft prevention costs 600 yen. If you receive a bicycle from your friend or your predecessor, you must also complete this registration process. You can do this at any shop that sells bicycles. Secondly, let's talk about bicycle insurance. In Hyogo Prefecture, it is mandatory for those who ride bicycles to purchase insurance, and it is against the law to ride a bicycle without it. The previously introduced Gakensai Futai Gakuso insurance covers bicycle accidents. Please purchase this insurance if you intend to ride a bicycle. Thirdly, please do not take home bicycles that seem to be abandoned on the street. As previously explained, each bicycle has a registered owner. Even if you take a seemingly abandoned old bicycle, this will be counted as theft. You need your bicycle, residence card, and the theft prevention registration card of the bicycle's previous owner. Please bring these items to your nearest bicycle shop and complete the registration process, which costs 600 yen. Problems can occur if you do not complete this process and ride a bike which is registered under another person's name. For example, if the police see you riding a bicycle you received from your friend, they might think that you stole it. Therefore, if you decide to get a bicycle, make sure it is registered in your name. You can buy a commuter pass if you plan to use public transport to commute to school. The types of pass that you can buy depends on your status as a student and your transportation method, so please check this information carefully. Also, please do not borrow another person's pass or lend your pass to someone else. This is illegal and you will have to pay a large fine. Now we will talk about how you can prepare for a natural disaster. Japan is a country that experiences many natural disasters, such as earthquakes, tsunamis, and heavy rainfall. The photos on this slide are from the time of the Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake, which occurred on January 17, 1995. This earthquake and the resulting fires did devastating damage to Kobe and the surrounding areas. 6,434 people lost their lives due to this disaster. Also, around 16,000 people lost their lives to the March 11, 2011 Tohoku earthquake and the subsequent tsunami. In addition to earthquakes, sometimes other natural disasters, such as heavy rainfall or floods, occur. This photo shows the landslide that occurred on campus after heavy rain in July 2018. High waves during a typhoon in September 2018 caused significant flooding on Port Island, where the international residence is located. This also occurred near Kobe University's Fukae campus. As you can see, various natural disasters may occur in Kobe, not only typhoons and earthquakes, but also landslides and floods caused by heavy rain, typhoons, and flooding caused by high waves. First of all, it is vital to gather correct information when a disaster occurs. The Hyogo Emergency Net is a multilingual disaster information service for Hyogo Prefecture. If you register with Hyogo Emergency Net, you can receive emails containing the latest disaster information. The service is available in 11 languages. Here are some examples of weather warning and landslide alert emails sent out by Hyogo Emergency Net. If you register, emails with this kind of information will be sent immediately to your phone, so please register as soon as possible. Information is posted on the official Kobe City Facebook and Twitter accounts when disasters happen in Kobe City. Please follow the accounts specified on this slide. Also, please make yourself aware of the areas in Kobe that are particularly vulnerable during disasters by checking the following hazard maps. In particular, please check which areas of Nada, Higashinada, and Chuo Ward are under threat during a landslide, flood, or tsunami. Hazard maps in Japanese, English, Chinese, and Korean can be accessed from the Kobe City homepage link on this slide. Kobe University uses a system called AMPIC to confirm everyone's safety during a large earthquake or disaster. This safety confirmation system automatically sends an email when a serious disaster occurs. This email will confirm your current situation by asking you where you are and if you are okay. All students can register their email addresses for AMPIC at the office of their faculty or graduate school. Please register 3 email addresses that you often use. Next, we will explain the procedure for informing the university when you intend to travel overseas during your study abroad period. Please turn to page 3 of your guidebook. If you return to your home country, for example during summer vacation, please submit a temporary return to home country form. Alternatively, if you are going abroad for travel, study, or research, please submit the Overseas Travel Notification. Both these forms can be submitted online by logging into Kobe University's Global Education Management System, or GEMS. Now we will introduce the Center for International Education's support system for international students. If you have any concerns regarding your studies, research, daily life, or personal relationships that you would like to discuss, please come to the Center for International Education. There are 2 international student advisors in the center. They are a male professor and a female associate professor. Their counseling hours for the first semester of 2020 are on this slide. If there is something you would like to discuss, please contact them by email first to make an appointment. In addition, there are also places off campus where you can discuss matters related to daily life and visas. For example, in Sanomiya, there is the Kobe International Community Center. Please read the following information on this slide about their services. Finally, we would like to tell you about the Center for International Education's Twitter account. We post information about various events and exchange groups aimed at international students, so please follow our account. Thank you for watching until the end of this orientation video. We all hope that you will have a safe and rewarding experience studying abroad in Kobe. Please feel free to come and talk to us if you have any concerns or problems. Thank you once again for your attention.